Hello guys, welcome to the 20th video of our Python playlist, and in this video we will discuss our second sorting algorithm, that is the insertion sort. So to understand the working of insertion sort, let me take an example, and with the help of this example we will be able to understand that how insertion sort is working. So let's say we have left hand and that is a list, and then we have a right hand that is also a list. In our right hand, we have poker cards that they are 8, 1, 3, 4. Okay, and what we want that we are playing and we want to arrange them in our left hand. Okay, what we will do, we will first put it. This example is just to understand how it works. Okay, so what we will do, we will just put our first card, that is 8, into our left hand. Okay, now what we will do, we will add the second card. As 8 is already stored, now we will compare this second card, which is 1, with the card 8. Now if 1 is smaller than 8, then what we will do, we will arrange it and we will put it before 8. So now 1 will come over here. Then we have 3. 3 will be compared with both of them, with 8, with the or with both of the previous values. What I am saying, both of the previous values. So 3 will be compared with 8, as it is lesser than 8, so it will come over here. Now we will compare it also with 1, but as the comparison is false, this means that 3 is not smaller than 1. So now 3 will be arranged over here. Then we have 4. We have to put 4 in our left hand and we have to compare 4 with every of the previous value. So 4 will be compared with 8. When it will be compared with 8, so it will come before 8, right? Now it will be compared with 3 also, but as the comparison is false, this means that 4, that is greater than 3, it is basically not lesser than 3, so that's why it will not replace the position of 3. Same goes with when 4 is compared with 1, it will also have no impact. Okay, so this is how insertion sort works. Every value is compared with the previous values. Okay, and previous values means if we talk in terms of single list, that 1 will be compared with the previous value 8. Okay, so if the comparison is true, then swapping will take place. 3 will be compared with both of the previous values. This is how insertion sort is working. Okay, now let me understand how we can implement its code. So let's take an array that is our this insertion sort list. Then what we have to do, that we have to start a for loop. As I told, we have to compare with the previous values. This means that if we are talking about 1, 8, for example, 8 has no previous value, right? So what we will do, we will start this loop from the first index position. The first index position means, in my words, that we will start from index position 1, not 0. Okay, then what will happen, that we have to start for I in range 1 to length of array. Then what we will do, that key is equal to array sub I. This means that right now we are talking about 1. Then what we will do, we will, now we have to do the comparison and we have to compare with which values, the previous values. So now we will write j is equal to I minus 1. This means what is the previous values starting from it, they are 8 right now. When we are at right now here, I is 1, okay, and this will become 0, right? So now what will happen, that we will store the key, that is the value, that is 1, in the variable key, and as we have to compare with the previous values, so the previous value is just 8 from 1, right? Then we will do while j is greater than equal to 0. Why we are doing this? For example, we will have when in the second iteration, what will happen? I will be 2, right? So for the index position 2 value, right, what will happen? We have to compare it with the previous two values, which will be index position 0 and index position 1. So that's why I have written while j is greater than equal to 0 and key is lesser than array index position j, array index position j. So what will happen? That we will just swap the next value with the current value. What this means, if I dry run this, what will happen? Look, here in this case, 8 is greater than 1, no? Right? 8 is greater than 1, or we can say 1 is lesser than 8. So what will happen? That right now, our array will be look like 8, comma 8, 3, 4. Then what we will do? We will decrement j. J is equal to j minus 1. Why we are decrementing this? Because we should have a reason. Either, look, we have to be comparing. If the comparison is false, then loop will terminate. Or if the value of j is not greater than equal to 0, then the loop will terminate. Then what we will do? We will just write array array j plus 1 is equal to key. Now what will happen? That here j will be minus 1, right? J will be minus 1, and then we will have our uh, key over here. This means 1 comma 8 comma 3 comma 4. So this is how our insertion sort is working. Now let we completely dry run this. Okay, so now what will happen? That now 1 8 3 4 is the list. So when I is equal to 2, j will be equal to 1, right? So as j will be equal to 1 now, so firstly, because 3 is lesser than 8, right? So let me write over here that our key our key will be 3 now, and as 3 is less than 8, so what will happen? We will our list will be 1, then 8 comma 8 comma 4, right? Then what we will do? Now we will decrement j now. So j will be equal to 0, right? And as j will be equal to 0 now, so what will happen? That because j is equal to 0, now we will see that if the key, that is 3, is lesser than 1 or not. So as it is not lesser than 1, then the loop will terminate and we will come out. And now 1 comma 3 comma 8 comma 4 will be the list. So this is how our insertion sort works. What is happening? We compare a value, which is the key, with the previous indexed values. So then all the values are compared, and if the comparison, like if the value is not smaller or greater, whatever the you are sorting in ascending order or descending order, all these code, in the previous video we discussed the bubble sort. So this is for ascending order. So if I change this, like if I want to order it into descending order, so for that we can just replace the greater than sign over here. Okay, so if I print the list now over here, print array, and I named it array, no problem with that. You guys can see that if I run this now, so you guys can see that here it is ascending order and here it is descending order. I hope you guys understood that how our insertion sort is working. I discussed the left hand, right hand example so that we can see that how it basically works. And see you guys until the next video. Take care. Goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe.